News 4 at 4 starts now.
Well, it's the start of an immensely consequential week here in Washington.
That's right. We are 2 days away from the inauguration of the next incoming president, Joseph R. Biden.
Good afternoon and welcome into News 4 at 4. I'm Pat Lawson Muse.
And I'm Leon Harris. The Capitol under lockdown this hour. There's really no other way to say it. And with the security perimeter growing wider by the day around the Capitol, even the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial is closed now to the public on a day that honors his life and his legacy.
The FBI is vetting all 25,000 National Guard members sent to protect the Capitol. The feds are trying to weed out potential insider threats. Now, to be clear, it's a precautionary measure and there is no evidence of a threat.
That's right, but it's just one more sign that this is going to be an inaugural unlike any other that we have seen. 4 years ago, there were crowd size comparisons. This year, the only crowd on the mall is going to be the military and law enforcement.
And 4 years ago, we watched the Obamas welcome the Trumps to the White House for a traditional coffee before the inauguration. This year, President Trump will be the first incumbent in 150 years to skip the transfer of power. He's planning to jet out of town, leaving from Andrews well ahead of the ceremony.
And another break with tradition. 4 years ago, after the last inauguration, the Bidens got on board an Amtrak train, and then they went back home to Delaware as civilians. Well, they couldn't return to Washington this time around this week because of the current security situation.
We have every angle covered in the countdown to the inauguration, and we begin this afternoon with Alice Barr at the White House. And Alice, tell us, what's the mood there this afternoon?
Well, Pat and Leon, we just heard the parade rehearsal going by, preparing for Inauguration Day. So to that drumbeat, there's a bit of a festive atmosphere right now. But at the same time, that comes while President Trump is increasingly isolated inside the White House, now planning his exit under the cloud of a looming second impeachment trial.
Final preparations are underway for an inauguration day like no other. The time-honored traditions of the peaceful transfer of power moving forward against the backdrop of an extraordinary level of security.
We're not taking any chances. This is 3 times the number of guardsmen we would normally have in support of the United States Secret Service.
Another major difference. For the first time in more than 150 years, the outgoing president will not attend his successor's swearing in. President Trump now planning to leave Washington with a send-off ceremony on Inauguration morning, landing in Florida aboard Air Force One before President-elect Joe Biden takes the oath of office. Moving trucks already seen arriving at Mar-a-Lago, the president's post-White House home. President Trump remaining out of sight again today, reportedly strategizing his defense for a second impeachment trial and weighing pardons, including potentially for himself, his family members, and top advisors. Meanwhile, President-elect Biden spending this Martin Luther King Day of service loading food boxes in Philadelphia while looking ahead to his top priorities. Biden promising a series of executive actions and proposing a nearly $2 trillion emergency COVID relief package. The incoming administration hoping Congress will place the new president's urgent agenda on a parallel fast track with the impeachment of the former president.
And President-elect Biden's inaugural address is set to focus on a message of unity and healing in a time of crisis. Leon and Pat, back to you.
All right. Thank you. Alice Barr reporting live for us. Pat?
A security scare today during the inaugural rehearsal. A fire at a nearby homeless encampment triggered an evacuation. Meanwhile, there are new concerns about the potential for an insider attack at the ceremony. News 4's Mark Segraves joins us live with more on the background checks now being done on National Guard troops. Tell us more about this, Mark.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pat. Take a look over my shoulder. This is one of those military checkpoints here at 5th in Massachusetts that are being manned by those National Guard troops. And as you said, they are being vetted. And now D.C. officials confirmed to News 4 that there are now open investigations into what they call possible insider threats. As thousands of National Guard troops from across the country continue to arrive in the district, those troops are now being vetted for any possible insider threats. The district's director of Homeland Security tells News 4 that vetting process has uncovered some troops with possible ties to right-wing extremist groups.
There are open investigations. People who may have, through preliminary background checks, had some type of ties to right-wing extremism. But again, that's all I can share at this time.
Another sign that tensions are high, the sudden lockdown of the U.S. Capitol and the evacuation of the inaugural rehearsal this morning after a fire at a nearby homeless encampment forced Capitol Police to send out this alert, warning people to shelter in place. And more security measures, including communication towers, sensors, and even the district's waterways are now heavily fortified. Inside the red zone, Pennsylvania Avenue, almost empty. And more road closures to come.
I think residents and visitors should expect impromptu or ad hoc road closures, again, if the security situation dictates it.
Now, district officials would not say if any National Guard troops have been denied security clearance to come and work this event. A spokesperson for the National Guard declined any comment at all, and we are still waiting to hear back from the FBI and the Secret Service about those open investigations. We also want to tell you the mayor's office put out a statement today to the press and to the country, really, wanting to point out that while there is a heavy military presence and there are military checkpoints throughout the downtown area and the federal enclave, most of Washington, D.C., the outer neighborhoods and other wards around the district are not seeing this kind of military presence or checkpoints at all, and business is going about as usual in many parts of the district. That's the very latest down here near Capitol Hill. Back to you, Pat.
All right, there's something normal about this week. Thank you, Mark.
All right, now from a transportation perspective, downtown D.C. is closed off like nothing we've ever seen before in this area. Transportation reporter Adam Tuss joins us now live. He is near the Key Bridge tonight, and he's got a look at the latest on a growing list of major bridge closures and precautions that are being taken in the region. Adam?
That's right, Leon. You know, the Key Bridge is actually one of those bridges that will not be shutting down over the next couple of days. But the reality is so many bridges around here are starting to shut down. And now you have residents starting to push back against this cascade of closures. At every twist and turn around the downtown area, D.C. is about to become a dizzying maze of road, street, and metro closures. And bridge closures specifically are now increasing. Take a look at this map and get a better idea of the bridges that'll shut down starting tomorrow morning. The Roosevelt Bridge, Memorial Bridge, 14th Street Bridge, Douglas Bridge, 11th Street Bridge, and the Sousa Bridge all will be closed, cutting off direct access to the Capitol area. Zooming in here, the areas in pink are restricted to essential personnel only. The green areas are only for residents in those areas. Troy Prestwood is a Ward 8 resident. He says, quite simply, residents east of the Anacostia often use these bridges to go to places like the grocery store and work, places that will still be open on Inauguration Day.
I think it's a bit of an overreach here, a bridge too far, and my hope is that they will dial back some of those road closures, especially those bridges that are vital to connecting neighborhoods like Anacostia and Navy Yard and Capitol Hill.
But today on MSNBC, the D.C. National Guard saying these closures are needed to protect this event.
But what we're asking for is cooperation, patience, and understanding of the citizens that live in and around the Capitol. This will be over in a couple of days. Just be patient with us.
A reminder, the East Capitol Street Bridge near RFK Stadium will still be open. So too will the Key Bridge and the Chain Bridge. Yeah, guys, obviously a lot to keep track of here. The best idea is just don't come down here if you don't have to over the next couple of days. But let's reiterate again those bridges that will remain open over the next couple of days. As we know so far, the Key Bridge, the Chain Bridge, and the East Capitol Street Bridge, they will all stay open as of right now. Leon, back to you.
All right, Adam. With a little luck, all we have to hope for is that this is just going to be a couple of days, not forever. All right. Thanks, Adam Tuss.
Any other year, a presidential inauguration would draw tens of thousands of people here to Washington. And those massive crowds create big business for the local economy. But with the pandemic and security concerns, this year will be a whole lot different. News 4's Cory Smith takes a look at the impact.
The Helen Olivia Floral Studio in Alexandria is usually a hive of activity in the run-up to inauguration.
Usually like knee-deep in building a floral elephant or donkey.
But not this year. Large inaugural events and private parties they'd usually serve are canceled. Casualties of the pandemic and a city that's turned into a veritable fortress. It's a double blow to owner Rachel Gang's bottom line.
That we have not a single event on the books. I mean, we don't even have a dinner party happening. It's quiet. Most of our business occurs in D.C. on Capitol Hill, and it's just been, another layer of struggle for us.
Businesses within the district are struggling too. Bubby's Plant Burgers opened its doors on M Street January 2nd, only to close them days later because of the insurrection. Head chef and owner Margot Riccio says the restaurant's proximity to the security perimeter is killing their day-to-day business.
We've lost easily 70% of our business because of this. Either people can't get to us, or our delivery drivers, even our third-party delivery drivers, are not able to get into the city.
Sadly, that economic pain is expected to be felt throughout the region. The 2017 inauguration pumped nearly $1 billion into the local economy. But Destination DC President and CEO Elliot Ferguson expects revenue to be down significantly.
January is not a big month for tourism or for conventions, so every 4 years the city and the industry looks forward to this.
If there's one silver lining, it's that hotels are being filled by the 25,000 National Guard troops in the district. But
in mind that they're not paying the occupancy tax. So it's good for the industry as a whole to at least have some occupancy. But as we look at what's important to us in terms of that tax being paid, that's not happening in 2021.
Yet another problem caused by the pandemic and political upheaval. In the district, Cory Smith, News 4.
Several restaurants say they've had to cancel delivery service or close altogether due to the increase in security.
Just announced today, country singer Garth Brooks is going to be added to Wednesday's swearing-in ceremony. He'll be joining Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez. Meanwhile, the Presidential Inaugural Committee is out today with 3 additional virtual events to celebrate America's diversity. Tomorrow night at 7, Breaking Barriers will celebrate the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. And then at 8, We Are One honors the Black community. And at 9:30, Inheritance, Resilience, and Promise tells the story of the contribution of Latinos to our country's history. All 3 events will be featuring guest speakers and musical performances. They'll be live streamed at bideninaugural.org/watch.
Here's something else to watch. Howard University will also play an important role in this week's inauguration. The Showtime Marching Band will escort Vice President-elect Kamala Harris during the ceremony.
All right.
This performance is really special just because this is my first time being able to be a part of this special moment.
Many people in the band aren't, music majors. We aren't studying, practicing music all the time, but we come here just doing it out of the love of band, just loving music.
That video from Howard University. Now, Harris is, of course, an alumna of Howard. The Showtime Marching Band will perform a special drum cadence during the parade. Should be quite a show.
And we've seen them perform before. They're good. We know they got it. All right, former Vanderbilt soccer star and football kicker Sarah Fuller is also going to be part of the inauguration this week. According to reporting, she filmed her speech in Vanderbilt's football stadium, and it's expected to be played during Vice President-elect Kamala Harris's induction ceremony. Last fall, Fuller became the first woman to play football and score a point for a Power 5 conference team.
And there's more. Wednesday night, Tom Hanks will host a 90-minute special celebrating the inauguration of Joe Biden. An A-list lineup of celebrities like Justin Timberlake, Demi Lovato, and John Bon Jovi will perform from iconic locations across the country. Celebrating America begins at 8:30 right here on NBC4. And still to come this afternoon, Storm Team 4 tracks some chillier temperatures for the inauguration. Doug?
Yeah, that's right. Some of us have seen a couple of snow showers, some pellets today, otherwise known as grapple. And yes, colder air for inauguration. It's going to be a chilly one. We'll talk about that and any other storms in the forecast. I've got that for you as well. Coming up.
Coming up on News 4.
A popular health app sharing private information. More than 100 million consumers use this app, mostly women, and maybe even you. I'm working for you with what was released and what you can do to protect your privacy while using health apps.
Then,
local researchers trying to track the spread of COVID-19 in real time to keep your family safe.
It brings me joy to know that we're all in this together.
How answering a few questions every day can help protect our community.
Next on News 4.